slightly different today, but we'll come into that a little bit later on. And welcome to the Peak District. Beautiful place. My mate Darren's brought me to a place where we are surrounded by all these silver birch, and on the outer edges where I am now, there is sort of one that's by itself. It's not really by itself, there are a few others around, but they're more separated than, as you can see, these ones behind me. These are really close together, and I think we're going to have some fun looking for some compositions in this lot. But this one here, it's framed by another tree that's more towards me with its branch going over the cross and to my left, so it's sort of giving it a natural frame. Yeah, it looks really nice. The only thing I'll say is the sky is a bit bland, it's a bit, bright really. So we are at ISO 64 F4 2500th of a second. I do have a 2-second timer on, so I'm going to take that. I've got a little bit of foreground at the front with this long grass in the front, so it's giving a bit of foreground interest, and I think that's quite a nice photograph. I might try and see if I can do it in landscape as well, so bear with me. I'll just move the camera around. It's not easy, when you're sitting on your bum and it's wet ground, but we'll come a little bit more to why I'm doing it like this in a second. I want to see if I can do it this way as well. I'm going to come out a little bit, nice and straight. Bear me a second, guys. So I want to try and get all of this tree in, and I want to go a bit more to the left, get rid of this big tree that's on the left that's imposing itself. And there's the one that I'm focusing on now. This will be a square crop, I would have thought. So again, ISO 64 F4 2500ths of a second. I've got the tree that we're going for in the centre. I've got the archway tree or branch going over the top, and there's another little tree just to the left of that, and we'll try and square crop that so it looks like that. 2-second timer on. And that looks like it's going to be I like that. That looks like it's going to be a nice photograph. It looks really nice. So I'll share those two photographs now. Let me know what you think. Okay, so what else are we here for? So I was contacted by K&F Concept or Kent Faith, whichever one it was. I think it was Kent Faith, who've asked me to take a look at one of their bags and share that with you guys, and with a discount code. So before I forget, the discount code is PWBP. I'll put that down on the bottom, and I'll put a link in the comments to the bag itself. But we're going to go more into the bag a little bit later on in the video. But let me pack this up, move around a little bit, and then we'll talk about the bag. Okay, thank you for that. So I hope you enjoyed those two photographs that I've showed you. While we were walking around or getting ready to do this, we've seen a couple of deer that are walking around, and we've taken some of, I say we, Darren and I, Darren's to my left, and we've done a couple of photographs of them, so I'll share those as well. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about this bag. So the bag itself, you have to excuse me, my memory is shocking, I sometimes forget my own name. Okay, so the bag itself is called the KF 13.107. It's all right. We'll come on to more about the bag though in a second. I just want to give you some specs on it. I'm going to read out the full name of the bag just to make sure that you've got that, but I will put a link to the bag on at the bottom of this. Okay, so the bag is the K&F Concept camera bag, EVA waterproof, 2-in-1 camera backpack shoulder bag, 32 litres large capacity with rain cover storage for a 15.6 laptop for your photography. There you go. So that's the full name. Like I said, I will put a link on it. The bag itself then, I've got the specs in front of me because like I said, my memory is shocking, guys, and I apologise for that. But the bag itself, if I remember rightly, he'll shout at me if I get it wrong, but it's a 32 litre bag, and it weighs how much?
2.9 kilos.
2.9 kilos, there we go. So it's all right. Okay, so I'm going to go on about the good things, and then I'm going to go on about the bad things about the bag itself. And the first thing I'm going to say about the bag, okay, is that it's pretty light. Like we've just said, we've gone on about the weight, and it is exceptionally comfortable. It's got loads of padding all around the shoulder bits and all around the back, and on the back itself it has a little bit where you can raise and lower the strap for the back, for your back support. Personally, I like it all the way up. I was going to say something but you're not allowed to say anymore, but unless you're a really small person, you're not going to adjust that. Okay, so yeah, bag wise then, all the way around it, so at the bottom of the bag itself here you can see there's loads of bits where you can go put your things like memory cards, batteries, your keys for your car, etc. all around the bag. There's bits all around the bag where you can do that. Probably too many if I'm honest, but is there too many pockets? Maybe not, and that's your opinion anyway. So on the back of the bag then you can see it's got like this mesh where I have put the waterproof covering for the bag itself to secure it in the back. And the reason why I've put it there, guys, is like I said to you before in the previous video, the bag that I would ideally like to have would have a zip in the back, so the bit that touches your back, so you can undo the bag to get access to your camera, so when you put the bag back on your back it remains dry at all times. Unfortunately, this bag does not have that. In my opinion, if this bag had that, it would be a heck of a lot better, because you would have more choice, if you get what I mean, but we'll come to why in a minute. Okay, so the bag itself, access to the bag, there's two pouches. Okay, so we've got one on the top which is accessible via these things. I don't really want to unzip it too much because my lenses will all drop out, but it has access here where you put your camera, and then underneath there itself, if I can open it just a little bit, there's like a cover with zips on either side, and then it has these little slots where you're going to sit in your lenses. Okay, so that's that one. The problem I found with that one is I have the 14 to 24 f.2 lens, and that is really wide on the top, and it doesn't quite fit in. I have got it in, I've had to shove it in to get it in there, but with doing that, what I found is that the camera itself, I mean, mine's the Z8, as you might all know, mine's the Z8, and that is quite constrained when it comes to putting it in the bag, in the recess that's there to support the camera itself. So yeah, if you've got the Z8, you will have to move these Velcro bits around anyway to sort it out the way you want it. I've done it really quickly, if I'm honest, but yeah, if you've got the bigger lenses, then it's potentially a problem. Okay, so then we come on to the lower section. Okay, so the lower section, guys, excuse me for putting my head out of the way. Okay, so the lower section is accessible by this one. Okay, and as you can see, sorry, this is where I've put that lens. Okay, in here I can only get 3 lenses. I'm only using it for 2 because I've put my spare batteries in there, and I've put my cable in there for my microphones, which I've forgotten. Okay, so I also have the long lens. Okay, this is part of the problem that I have with the bag. It doesn't seem to naturally take a long lens. Okay, so this is the 1 to 400mm lens. It's the 4.5 to 5.6 for the Z mount. Okay, when I went to put it in there to enable me to get the lens in there, I've had to take 2 of the sections and join them together to make it go across to enable the lens to sit at the bottom. Now, when it sits at the bottom, there is little support underneath the lens to protect the lens. So if there was more of these available and you could put them underneath the lens, that would protect the lens more. Unfortunately, it doesn't do that, and it's sort of flopping around. So I don't know. But again, within the bag, on the pouches or on the covers, the lids, this bit here, you can see there's another zip bit where you can put more stuff inside there if you want to do so. Okay, so I'm just going to close that up because I don't want my lenses to drop out. Okay, so on the side of the bags then, we have these pockets and these straps there to hold your tripods. To secure the tripods into the bag itself, you have to sit your feet into the pockets and then secure the tripods in with the straps. Now, the straps are pull straps, and the problem I have with them is they're really difficult to undo when your tripod is secured in. If they were clips, they would be better. You can get easier access to them, and you don't have to keep undoing them and doing them up again when you put your tripods back into the bag. Just my opinion. They do work, they do hold it. I just prefer the bag myself to have clips so that you can secure the lenses, when you come to taking them in and out, etc. Okay, so yeah, like I said on the back, look, I just want you to see on the back itself, on the bag, it's got all this padding, and I just said to Darren on the way up here, it's probably the most comfortable bag that I've had on my back, if I'm honest. It's so much more comfortable than my own bag, although this is now my own, I suppose, but the bag that I've been using previous to this. So it is exceptionally comfortable. It just doesn't quite fit, as in securing a longer lens, and the way that the tripods are secured. And the other problem that I found, just bear with me, I forgot to mention, is there is a waist strap. So this strap here, it is quite long, but I'm a rather large gentleman, shall we say. I'm a bit on the fat side. And if I stick a coat on, I found that these straps are not long enough for me. So if there was either an extension lead on there to enable you to extend it for wearing a coat, or these straps were made a little bit longer, then that potentially would be a little bit better and more beneficial, because then your waist is also taking the weight of the bag rather than just your shoulders. But the problems that I've found are, I suppose, minor, other than the securing of the longer lens. Okay, so the other thing that it has on the front of the bag, it's got these clips that hang down here. So these ones here, they're hanging there. Any ideas, Darren?
I'm just about to show you.
He's going to show us. For the bag.
So these can clip.
Ah.
So you can have a quick release.
So for your sandwiches.
So that a nice little sandwich pouch.
There we go. I didn't know.
You can keep your camera in there if you haven't got a clip, capture clip. You can keep your camera in there as you're walking around. So yeah, there you go.
There you go. Thank you for that.
Take them.
But other than that, yeah. Like I said, guys, if you're interested in the bag, click on the link below. You can use the code. It's Paul W. Baker Photography. I'll put that underneath. Go along, follow the link, buy the bag. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Thanks very much for watching. We're going to keep walking around here. We'll come back to more photographs in a bit, guys. Thank you.
Off now.
Thank you, guys. Let's go around and look for some more photographs. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks. Yeah, we've come across, Darren's pointed it out to me, to be fair, but we've come across 3 trees. I've got equal separation between the 3 trees. We're at ISO 100 f8, and that gives us 500th of a second. Nice shot, 2-second timer. I'll share that photograph now. Thank you. We're just walking around and we've come across this singular tree, and the sun is directly behind it. I've done it at f18 and f22, trying to get a starburst behind it. I don't think it's worked, if I'm honest, because the sky is so bright. But there is a little bit of definition in the sky. We've got a bit of dark and then light cloud, dark, light cloud. So it might be a good photograph. I'm going to do it again. So yeah, this one's at f22, ISO 100 and 125th of a second, and it's got the 2-second timer on. So yeah, I'll share that one now. Let me know what you think. But yeah, okay, we'll keep walking around. If we can't find anything else, we'll come back to you. See you in a minute. Okay guys, so we have moved, so apologies about the different background, etc. But one thing I forgot to mention about the backpack is it does hold a laptop if you felt the need to take your laptop out in the field with you. And the laptop size would be a maximum of 17 inches. I think it actually goes inside at the back of the laptop. There's a zip, and you just plonk it in the back there and then zip it up. Yeah, I haven't put a laptop in there, so I'm not going to lie to you and tell you it's really nice and comfortable. I have no idea, but that's where it goes. 17 inches. You got your little power box, as I call it, on the front. You can stick your power cable and whatever other cables in there, or there's plenty of room in that bag to stick stuff. Okay, so yeah, that's just a little bit of extra information. Yeah, I think I've got everything else. If I find anything else out while we're walking around, I'll come back to you. Yeah, final photograph, I think, of this vlog. What I've done is there's an archway, an actual archway formed by a tree that looks like it's broken in the winds or whatever, and behind that, in the centre, there is a tree, and to the right behind that there is another tree, and I've taken 3 photographs. One of the branch on the right hand side, which is broken, one of the tree that's in the middle and on one of the tree that's further back, and I think I've got separation on all of them. Not sure, there might be a little bit of touchy-feely, but I think we've got separation. So I'll share that one now. I envisage that being a square crop, so I've done it in landscape, so I'm going to square crop that. I might do one as well in portrait. If I do, I'll share that one as well. On the bag side of life, remember that if you want to have a look at the bag, the link is at the bottom. The code for that is PWBP. I'll put that again across the bottom. It's a right mouthful. And another thing I want to say about the bag is, and it's more for Kent Faith as well, I suppose, that if there was also a zip added to the back of the bag, so you had the option of either using both compartments at the front or using the one zip at the back, and then you could get easier access to all of your lenses and cameras, etc. So just an idea of mine. I hope you enjoy the bag. I hope you've enjoyed the content. It's not something I've done before, a review. I hope it's been of use to you all. Thanks very much. If you like it, if you went and bought one, stick it below, let me know. And if you've got any questions, again, put them below and I'll try and answer those as well. Okay, thanks guys. See you next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.